Good morning, everyone. It's Lisa with Ink and Inspirations, and welcome. So glad you are joining me to this morning, or if you're watching the replay, I am live either on YouTube or on my Facebook business page. So I'm glad to have you here. I'd love for you to shout out and say hello and let us know where you're watching from. And I had thought I was going to go start it in a little bit early, but I didn't. I looked up and it was 11 o'clock. So here we are. So welcome. If it's your first time, I'm glad you're here. And I am going to be working with the Hello Harvest Bundle today, making two projects. So we're going to get started in just a minute. I'm going to get some time for the video to get seen and we'll get started. I was going through my supplies for the first project and I realized I didn't have something I needed. So I've been scrambling trying to find my basic white piece of cardstock. Hi, Pam. Good morning. It's a cold morning here. Hi, Lynn. Cold morning here in Southwest Missouri, but it feels good. And I turned the heater on out here in the studio earlier this morning so it could warm up a little bit and then not be running so much while I was trying to do the live. So good morning, Kathy. Good morning, everyone. So I just posted on my Facebook pages and I sent out an email to my email list that I had a big surprise this morning. Stampin' Up updated the clearance rack and there's some beautiful papers on there and embellishments and punches. So you might want to check that out because it's only available while supplies last. Good morning, Narisa. Anyway, I had posted yesterday that I was going to do this live if I had a voice. Well, my throat bothers me when I swallow. So it's like an allergy related thing because that's really the only symptom I had, except I wake up with red bloodshot eyes. So anyway, I wasn't sure what my voice was going to be like this morning, but I'm raring to go. So, okay, I'm going to get started. First, I'm going to go over a couple of things that I want you to know about. This is the third in the series of my Stampin' Up online class series for Christmas cards. It's my hope that you can see that you can take supplies and make Christmas cards very easily. And in this particular set, let me go ahead and highlight this. I feature the Lights Aglow bundle, but if you don't have that particular set and you have a sentiment stamp set for Christmas, you can complete these cards that way. So the way I offer my classes is they're free with a qualifying purchase. So with a $35 minimum purchase, you'll get the card kit for this card, and this card. Okay. And then if your order is $50 or more, you'll get the bonus of the pack of embellishments plus this bonus card. Okay. So today is the last day. You have until the end of the day today to place an order, and it can even be things off the clearance rack. Okay. If you have a sentiment stamp set, you should be able to complete these cards just fine. And let me know if you have any questions about that, and I'll get back with you. Okay, now I'm having October paper pumpkin class, and on October 25th, is that next Tuesday? It is, isn't it? And so I haven't even gotten my kit yet, so I'm glad I scheduled this out some. But I'm going to be putting my kit together. These are Christmas cards for this month. And then I'll do a couple of alternate projects that you can do with the supplies that are in the kit. So this will be here on Facebook on my business page, and it's at 6 p.m. Central on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Okay, and it's in the events on my page there that you can respond if you're coming or not. But it's a free class, so just join us. Even if you've never tried a paper pumpkin, you might want to come see what it's all about. Good morning, Carol and Cindy. Thank you. All right. And lastly, the Starter Kit Plus promotion is going on until the end of the month. It's $155 for $99 worth of product for $99 to join. We'd love to have you on our stars team. And so if you're interested in that, let me know. It goes through the end of the month, and it's a great value for the $99, $155 of your choice of products. Okay, let's get started. I'm going to go ahead and show you the card first. Here it is. Okay, so I love it's busy, but I love it. Okay, and I'm going to give you an option as far as this background today. Okay, I'm not, you can kind of vote in the comments, but I'm starting with a piece of Cajun Craze. I was going to say really rust. That's an old Stampin' Up color, I think. 5.5 by 8.5, and we're going to match the two corners and give it a good crease with our bone folder. Now, I just love this pumpkin print. It is from the paper that's in this Hello Harvest suite. So it's this one. Okay, so it has like black accents with Mary Merlot, Cajun Craze. Let's see what else is in here. Crushed curry, mossy meadow. So some really pretty rich colors. Okay, and I decided to go with the rust, but I wanted to use these pumpkins, and I knew I was going to use a pumpkin as my main image. Okay, but let me show you. We can either go with the 5.25 piece, 4 by 5.25 piece, just like I made the card with, or we can flip it over and do the diagonal stripe. So I'm going to give you a few minutes to vote, and I might ask some of you to help me count if you see votes coming through. But, you know, here is the original. This is how I want to do it. But if y'all want me to do it like this and let's see what it looks like, I'll be happy to. Okay. All right. So y'all just vote in the comments, stripes or pumpkins. That's all you have to put. Pumpkins. Okay. Pumpkins. Okay. So far, 2 pumpkins. Okay. We'll wait a minute and let some more votes come in. But let's get our main image done first. Okay. So I have a piece of scrap basic white, and I'm going to stamp the pumpkin on it in Memento Black ink because we're going to be coloring it with the Stampin' blends. Okay, I'm seeing lots of pumpkins. I'm glad y'all like that because I love those pumpkins in the background. Okay, I'm going to stamp this. All right, and so I'm going to color this very easily and quickly. Stampin' blends are awesome for coloring. And so I'm going to start with my light Cajun Craze and just kind of fill it all in. There's a little something on that pumpkin. I must have got a piece of some glue or something. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm going to fill it in. Just easy coloring. So, is anyone else having cold weather this morning? I know a friend of mine, another demonstrator, posted that they were getting light snow this morning. Okay, Narisa, I tell you what, I might make another one like that so we can see what it looks like. But I am so partial to those pumpkins. I agree. I think it would be pretty, but it just, I don't know. But thank you for your input. Oh, a dusting of snow, Connie. I'll have to try it again, Narisa, with the stripes. Okay, now I'm just going over some of these accent lines with my dark Cajun Craze. Super simple. I'm going to do my darker, like this is the darker side over here. Okay. Now I'm going to take the light and kind of blend it in. Okay. Okay. So now for this little stem here, I am using Crumb Cake Dark. Then I'm going to fill it in with the light. You like this, Connie? Yes. I do too. It's so, and for a while it wasn't available or the paper wasn't. And it's like, oh man, I don't want to show it if you can't get it because it is so pretty. Okay, so now let's cut this baby out. I'm going to get my mini Boston here and notice that I cut my paper narrow so that it would run through here. Okay, now where is my, here it is. My other project uses this pumpkin too. So I had it over there. I had forgotten that I didn't stamp this directly onto the basic white panel. So when I post this on my blog, I will have the dimensions for everything. Okay. All right, let's roll this through. Look at my new shiny plates. 40 and rainy. Oh, we haven't gotten any precipitation here. It's beautiful. Sun's out, but it's windy. And that just kind of cuts through you. You know what I mean? Okay, I'm going to put this back over here for my other project so I don't forget it. And there's our pumpkin. Now, what I was going to tell you, see how you can see the white around the edges? I don't want it to be, I don't want that white so much to show against that white background. So I'm going to take my light crumb cake and just fill it in, kind of like it's a shadow. I asked, Jackie was sitting inside watching the news and stuff this morning, and I said, well, what are you going to do today? He goes, you're seeing it. I said, okay. All right, so there's our pumpkin. All right. Now, let me get this out of the way. Now we're going to take the backdrop, like I like to call it, for this pumpkin. So it's a 2 1/4 by 4 piece of basic white. And it's going to go here, but it needs something else, right? Okay, we're going to jazz it up. So I'm going to get some scrap paper to protect the work surface. And I have the leaf stamp from this bundle. Oh, I will, Kathy. It took him all 6. Kathy's talking about the Wordle. Does anybody else do the Wordle? Jackie is obsessed with it, y'all. But he loves it. And it's so good for him because his spelling is terrible. And it's really helped him. So I'm glad he's doing it. Okay. So on this, I'm taking it full strength, Mossy Meadow, and I'm going to stamp like this. Now, I'm not going to re-ink. I'm going to use what's on there and come this way. Okay, it's like 2 different shades from the same color. Do you, Lynn? He does it every day. Y'all, sometimes I'm asleep and I wake up. If he happens to turn over and it's after midnight, he'll get his phone and he'll do that darn Wordle. Okay, so this is full strength here, and it doesn't have to all be on the page. And now I'm going to come this way and go like this. Okay? All right. So now look. See? Okay. This looks a little narrower than this. And it is. So let's see what I did. 2 1/4. I did 2 3/4. So that's okay. I'm going to trim this down. This must have been my scrap piece. So, you know, when you find you have a piece of paper that is more wider than what you want, you can kind of adjust. So let me see what I can do here. I'm cutting off just 1/8 of an inch there. And 1/8 of an inch there. Let's see if that's better. Yep, that did it. Kind of looks off there, but we'll go with it. I know what I'm going to do to make up for it. Okay, so when you cut and you're having to cut down for your pieces, don't just cut a lot off of one side. Cut some off of one side, then come some, you know, to get it even, so your image is not justified to one side. Okay, like this one kind of is, but I know I'm using some rhinestones, and so that'll work on there. Okay, so this is going to be glued on here, but I'm going to do a little bit more stamping. Welcome if you're just tuning in. Okay, so let's open my early espresso, and they have these little flourishes in this. Okay, Kathy, you wake up and do it too. I don't doubt it. Has anyone tried Wordle? Oh, what kind of Wordle is that, Connie? Okay, I'm going to put this here. And then this one's going to go down here. It's just a filler. Okay. Wordle. Is it an Atlas Wordle? I've never heard of it. Okay. This is going to go here now. I'm centering that pumpkin. All right. And then I'm going to glue that on. Okay, there's that. And now we can start building up on the card, okay? And I'll put my rhinestones on in a bit. I like to add that last. Okay, so Nerissa, I will try this on a different card. Wordle. That's hard to say. Wordle. I haven't heard of that. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and go with the pumpkin since that won the vote. And I can go ahead and put that down. Stamping to do on this in a minute, but I want to get these pieces on here. All right. Wordle. I haven't heard of that, Connie. All right. So now we're going to use some other pieces of the designer paper. Okay. So I have a 1x5 strip. It's black and white leaves on the back and the Cajun Craze stripe, dotted stripe on the front. That's going to be glued about in the middle of the card. Okay. Then this is the Mossy Meadow swirly print with a diamond black and white pattern on the back. And I'm going to glue that over here. All right. 1.5 by 4.5. And this is going to go here, more this way. So you're going to see all three designer papers, a little more of this one. So let's get it on, okay? Let's get it on the card front. Okay. All right, let's put on the Mossy Meadow print. It kind of surprised me to see the black incorporated in with the autumn paper, but I think the black and white is very popular. So I think that's why they must have gone with it. Okay, and this is going to go here. So let's go ahead and put that on, and then I'm going to show you what else we're going to do to jazz it up. Okay, so I leave about the same amount showing at the top and bottom of this designer paper, and the same for this strip. All right. Now, in the die set, I'll show you, it's great. See these three little swirls, vines, pumpkin vines? What I've done is I've taken a piece of Post-it tape and I tape them together. So when I cut them, I cut all three at the same time, and then I just save what I don't use. So here's my strip. Okay, this is the same print I used on the card front, and I just cut them all at the same time, and then I store it like this. And it's also keeps you from losing them on your desk. Okay, all right, so I've already done that, and I've got some saved right here. And so I'm going to put one of these little swirls. I've got to decide which one I want. It doesn't really matter. It's going to come up, and you see how that's going to take up that white space? Okay. Let's see. It's probably the same one, Lisa. Goodness gracious. Here's a longer one. Nope, I think I like this one. So I'm going to take and put just a little bit of glue and glue that on. And so your placement of that can be wherever you need to fill in some white space like I had over here. Okay, so that's just a little trick of the trade. All right, I'm going to save these little pieces because I'm sure I'll use them again. Okay, so now let's do the sentiment. So I chose hello for this one. I think I'm going to use the same thing. I'd have just a scrap piece of basic white. And I'm going to take the hello and the Mossy Meadow ink. Excuse me, y'all. I'm going to take a sip of water. Okay. All right. Now, you know what I'm going to do with this, don't you? If you've watched me before, you know. Okay, I don't see any comments, so I know y'all are just really quiet this morning. Okay, I'm just cutting with my paper snips around the hello. Don't stress about whether it's perfectly straight or not. And that's going to go right here. And I'm going to use some Stampin' Dimensionals. Thank you, Debbie. I think I'm going to move that up and cover that little white. No, I'm going to leave it. I'm talking to myself. Okay, now I'm going to take some champagne rhinestones. The amber leaves, I want to say amber waves of grain. The amber leaves and the amber rhinestones are not available right now. Thank you, Connie. So you can use champagne rhinestones. Make a beautiful substitute for your fall projects, I think. Okay, so I was going to put them over here. I'm going to put two here. And then I'm going to come down here with one. Now let's work on the inside of the card real quick. and then we'll start the next project. Thank you. Thanks y'all for commenting like that. I know I'm not just talking to myself, which is what it sounds like anyway in here, but okay, so for the inside, 4 by 5¼ inch rectangle of basic white. And I just use that same leaf again, just to add a little something to the inside. You could also take a strip of, excuse me, a strip of designer paper and put it along the bottom. But I decided to stamp on the inside this time. So I'm going to do 1 full strength, 1 off, full strength. Oh, I wasn't going to stamp again. And off. Okay. Get this out of the way. Thank you. All right, let's put this in here. And this card will be done. I will have to try that stripe background at some point, Narisa. Okay, there is the first card. I'm going to let you look at that. It looks like this one's a little darker. My pumpkin, I was a little heavier handed. Now, remember, if you were on my Facebook group, the Stampers group, which is a private group that you have to request membership for, and it's free, but I put 2 pictures about whether you like traditional colors for the fall or the neutrals. Okay, so it was kind of mixed. Most people like traditional, and I know this is a little off traditional with the black in it, but basically it's the traditional colors. But I decided to take the same layout and idea and make a more light neutral card. All right, you ready to see it? Okay, so this is very different looking, isn't it? But it is the same exact layout, but this uses the dies that make the pumpkin in the coordinating die set. You see these 2? And then there's a stem. Okay, that's what I used on that. And I decided to use, this is the Abigail Rose Designer Series paper from the annual catalog. You know, I thought, where can I find some neutral papers? And that was it. It's different, but I mean, I like it. It's just very different. So I used that ledger print as a background. And this, I made my own background on Very Vanilla using this stamp. Okay. And I'm probably going to do it like a reel or a TikTok with this set, this card, and it'll post on my blog eventually. So, but yeah, it's pretty. And I use the matte, classic matte dots in vanilla. Okay. And this is pale papaya instead of orange. All right. So you can see how I use the same layout. I used a backing here so that this pumpkin would stand out from that vanilla. Okay. But same idea, different, totally different card. Okay. All right. Let me clear this off and we're going to do the little Halloween treat bag, which even if you don't do Halloween, you can use this idea for Christmas or anytime thinking of you. You'll see. Okay, I've got a mess here. Let me get my things out. Okay, so I'm using the black and white designer paper, and along with this pumpkin here, I'm using this little frog and this You've Put a Spell on Me. Okay, so Want to see it? Okay, so there's the pumpkin, all right, from the Hello Harvest, but I added a little twist with Halloween to it. So, and let me show you what's inside. I've had this for years, y'all. Look at those cute little jack-o'-lantern Kleenex. Now you could use, you know how you can buy these a little decorative? You could use it, I mean, cold and flu season, you could make one of these up in a pretty pattern, pretty different paper, different sentiment on the front, and, you know, give it, say, you know, thinking of you, and leave it on their doorstep. I think it would be so cute. All right, let me, oh gosh, I've got a mess. Okay. All right. Let me get my stamps out. I'm going to need this die again. The frog. Sentiment. And a few Stampin' blends. Okay. All right. Let's get started. I'm going to tape this right here so I don't lose it. Put that little guy there. And now, let's get with it here. So, I took a piece of the black and white designs and cut it at 6 by 7.5. And we're going to do some scoring. But before I do that, I'm going to dress this up a little bit in a very easy way. I'm taking my pumpkin pie blends, and I'm opening the bullet tip, and I'm just going to draw orange lines through here. This is just to add the Halloween color to it, you know. Easy, and you don't have to worry about if they're straight or not. But I'm doing them in all these wide white spaces. Let me see if I can get it here. Bam. Okay, so instantly we have orange and black and white paper. So let me get my Simply Score tool out, and we're going to score this. Okay, so you want the long side going across first, and we're going to do our scores going this way. I will tell you that, you know, if your paper has directionality, when you go to make the next scores, you just need to remember that, okay? Like this is going to be the bottom, this is going to be my top. But let's go ahead and score this. There are the measurements. And so I'm going to go with 1, 3.5, 4.5, and 7. And then I'm going to turn it, and this is going to be my bottom, okay? So I'm going to score that at 1 inch. And then 6, I put 6.5, but it's going to be 5.5. So, oops, let me change that. What was I thinking? 5.5. Should work. I adjusted, I tried to do this, design it, where you could get 2 of these out of one 12 by 12 piece of designer paper. Okay, so you could do 2 6 by 7.5. It could have been a little taller, like 6.5, but I thought, let me squeeze it in. So I did. So this, if you're using this for Halloween, it could also be candies would fit in here. Those little window clings that I've shown before on my Halloween series, those would fit in here. You know me, I'm trying not to get the candy in the house, so I'm not tempted. Oh, I missed my candy corn. Okay, so let me see. Let's go ahead and cut these. So I'm going to cut off this little rectangle here formed by that last 1/2 inch score. I need to change that score on my notes too in my notebook. Done. Okay. And then we're going to cut up on all of these score lines up to that intersecting 1-inch score. So remember, this is our bottom. Okay. Now we're going to glue this together. So I'm going to get my silicone craft sheet, put this on top, and I want Stampin' Seal Plus. You could use liquid glue, but you just have to wait on it to dry, and or tear and tape. Okay, I like Seal Plus. Okay, I need to flip that over. You can see that the glue that overlapped, but yet if I'd have done it just on top of my grid sheet, I would have one sticky mess. Okay, so I'm matching that up. And there's our bag. So here's our seam. So we're going to call that the back of the bag. So I'm going to fold my 2 sides in first, then the back flap, then the front flap. And again, we just need adhesive here and bring it on around. There's our little bag. Okay, so there's that. Where's that 1/2 inch score? That's up here. I'm hoping my Kleenex. Yeah, they do. It's tight, but it works. You see that? Pinch in here, and then that little 1/2 inch score that we made at the top at 5.5, that makes you a neat little top. Okay. All right. So got the Kleenex in there. I say Kleenex, tissue. It's like when we were little, we called every soft drink Coke. You want Coke? Yeah, I'll take Coke. I mean, it didn't matter if it was Sprite or Big Red or whatever. You want Coke? Yeah, I'll take a Coke. And I know, what do they call them up here? Pop? What do y'all call soft drinks? Pop, soda. I don't know what we call them down there. Now we just say Coke, Sprite, Dr. Pepper, whatever it is. But yeah. You want a Coke? Okay. Probably because that's all we had was Coke. Coca-Cola. All right. There we have that. Now we're going to decorate it. Let's go ahead and, oh, I already punched out my pumpkin, but here I had a scrap piece of pumpkin pie. And I don't know where that Kleenex came from. That Kleenex, there we go again. Tissue came from. Okay, then we would die cut this out. Okay, and I'll probably make another project with that later. But you can find stuff like that. Coke in Georgia. Well, yeah. Coke, yep. That's like, different, how different areas of the country call things differently. This is going to go here. All right. And what I want to do first, I'll finish my story in a minute. I won't forget. In Ohio, it was pop, but in Pennsylvania, it's soda. Never Pepsi. I bet not, Lynn. Okay, so here I'm punching one hole on this little 1/2 inch piece. I'm kind of eyeballing it and centering it. Okay, it's really tight, and you could use any hole punch. Not a real big one because pop in Michigan. Okay. Oh, I messed up. It's okay. I'm going to make it work. You know what I'm going to do, y'all? Since this would go to an adult, and this is another fix, this would go to an adult, I'm going to staple it. Okay? I wouldn't give tissue to a child. I mean, it's cute, but, And then I'm going to take this and tie a bow. This is that Granny Apple Green. No. What is this? Parakeet Party. Metallic mesh. I know y'all are thinking Lisa's all over the place with her stories today, but that'll cover up that hole. So ideally, I would have gone further down to punch that hole. Okay. but it didn't work. So this is my backup. So now I'm going to take a glue dot. And again, I don't use staples when it's going to a child. Coke, yeah. Jackie likes to tell the story of he came up here in Missouri one time, and I don't know, in Texas, we have putt-putt golf courses. And if y'all are, you know, in the South, y'all may know what that is. Putt-putt. I'm having issues, sorry. And so he came up here to Missouri. He goes, "Where's the putt-putt?" And the person looked at him like, "Putt-putt?" It was so funny. He said, "Yeah, you know, putt-putt, like, you know, with the golf and the," he goes, "Oh, you mean miniature golf?" It was so funny. He said, he goes, he probably thought I was talking about little course, putt, 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 putt. And I've never forgotten that. I thought, you know, not until we started being up here in Missouri a lot did I realize that things are called different names, different areas of the country. So, but yeah, putt putt. Okay, so have this here, and I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. So y'all see I made an adjustment. Ideally, I would have punched a hole, and I did, but it went through the top on the back. So I stapled it, but no staples to children. And this will go to an adult. Okay, like that. I'm trying to leave some space at the bottom too, so I'm sliding that down a little bit. Okay, so now we're going to do the frog. Yeah, Kathy, put. All right, here's the little frog. He's so cute. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp the sentiment too. And let's color this baby. Okay, now I should have used, I had green apple green. I need to use Parakeet Party. I did the dark up here on his lids. And on these little lines in the mouth. And then I'm going to take the lighter one and just kind of fill him in. And oh yes, I'm going to fussy cut him out. But if you don't want to do that, if you have a little circle punch or a circle die and you want to cut him out like that. But I think he's cute cut out. It's putt-putt for y'all, Connie. Good. I'm glad to know that. Putt-putt. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this out first so I don't have to deal with that. So this is just going to be another fussy cut sentiment that we're going to put on the pumpkin. And I'm kind of rounding the edges. Speaking of putt-putt, down the street from us here on the highway, they're putting in a putt-putt golf course. Or it's probably going to be called miniature golf. I'll have to take a picture of it for y'all when it's done. Okay, so now let's do this. Really easy. Don't try to cut on the line. Just go around it. Like give him a little bit of a white shadow there. Don't cut off his little eyebrow expressions mark there. Cut that excess off. It makes it a lot easier. Move your paper and not your scissors. Move your paper. See how I'm turning it? You close down on your scissors to make the cut, but much easier to turn your paper. There we go. All right, let's get this on. So, yeah, cute little guy, cute little guy. I've got some of these black mini dimensionals. Did y'all know we had black Stampin' dimensionals? They're good for like these projects or Halloween or something dark. I forget to pull them out, but in the pack it comes the small and the large dimensionals in the one pack for black dimensionals. Okay, I'm gonna put this little guy right here. And then this I'm just going to glue on like that. You put a spell on me. Lisa. There we go. Now, oh my goodness. That was funny. Okay, now I need a little to jazz it up. On this one, I use the black matte dots. Okay. Yes, Kathy, it has. I couldn't believe it when I saw it. Nerissa saw it when she was here. It's coming along. Okay, so should I go with the black, y'all? We don't have, I mean, I have little flowers and I guess, you know what I could do? I'm going through all of my gems right now, trying to find something that will work. Let's do the old tried and true. Thank you, Diana. Okay, so I'm going to get just our basic rhinestones and my dark parakeet party. Because I think, because I've got so much black on this bag, I think I want to use something other than those black dots. So I have 5, so let's color 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, I'm gonna let those dry just a bit. I knew what you meant, Diana. Okay, where's this? So alcohol markers can color on any, pretty much any non-porous surface. So that's why I chose to match my little frog here. And these are showing up much better on the black than the black wood. Don't you think? Okay. Okay. Little treat in there, or even a small Christmas gift. Okay. I'll probably be remaking some of these for holiday time because they're just too cute and such a cute size. Don't you think? Okay, so there's our little tissue. Thank you. All right, let's get our other cards in here. And let's see. One more reminder about my online card class ends today for a qualifying order. These 3 cards with a $35 minimum purchase, the card kits, and this card and the pearls for a $50 plus purchase. Okay, that's before shipping and tax. So anyway, don't miss out on that if you're wanting that. And again, I'm just, you know, wanting to show you that you can create your own cards to send out at Christmas, and you can do it very easily. Thank you. Let me see if I can get back in here. So, okay, I've gone a lot longer than I thought I was going to, but thank you. Thank you, ladies. Miniature golf. Okay. Um, so anyway, I have scheduled, it's not up there yet, but on YouTube on Thursday night, I should have a premiere going up. Okay. So be looking for that. And thank you, Pam. And anyway, I'm having a blast working with this set. And it's just so fun, and it's versatile. You know, like the pumpkin, I was kind of like disappointed I didn't have a pumpkin for Halloween, but you can use this one and this. Okay. So enjoy, create, share what you love, make someone's day and send them a card. Okay. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all again soon. Take care. Bye bye.